So today's video is based on FIFA 20's title update number 2. The official patch notes have been released for this update and it's already out on PC. I'm not sure when it's coming out on PS4 and Xbox. Usually there is like a couple of days wait on those consoles, but PC people can download it today. Now this update features some general gameplay fixes, Volta fixes, Ultimate Team fixes as well, and also 2 new faces as well to take a look at. It is going to be a bit of a read because this update has a lot of stuff in it, so just sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. I'll tell you everything you need to know, but if you do enjoy the video, help me out by leaving a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button today because I always bring you guys the latest FIFA 20 news and updates when they happen. So if you don't want to miss anything, subscribe today. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to this. I'm probably going to lose my voice because this is a lot of words, but hey, someone's got to do it and I'm going to do it today. So EA Andy put out the thing, title update number 2. This is available on the EA forums if you want to read it yourself. If you're looking for career mode fixes, it's already been confirmed that this is not going to fix much in career mode. I think there's only one fix in career mode and it's not important anyway, so we'll take a look at that when the time comes. But Corey said that a lot of this patch is from pre-release feedback and has been locked for a while. And he said that last week in his tweets, which is what we talked about a few days ago in one of the videos as well. So yeah, this is not going to fix anything in career mode. This is just from pre-release feedback. So it says, hey FIFA fans, the latest title update for FIFA 20 is now available. It includes the changes below. For more details, please follow EA Sports FIFA and all that kind of stuff. General gameplay, we start with that one. They've made the following changes. Goalkeepers will be more likely to push the ball further away from the net when they make a save that would result in a rebound. They've improved the responsiveness of dribbling when not using any dribbling modifiers or skill moves for players that have an average rating of 80 or higher between the attributes of dribbling, agility and balance. Next one, in a penalty kick situation we have increased the range that a goalkeeper will react to the ball and attempt to make a save when they are standing still in the middle of the net. This will result in goalkeepers being more likely to react and make saves to shots that are placed close to where they are standing when they are standing in the middle of the net. So yeah, so on the left we have the before and on the right is the after. This is like a penalty situation. You can see that the yellow zone is the area where the goalkeeper is going to react now when you kick the ball. It's a little bit wider compared to before the update. They've also reduced the effectiveness of contain and secondary contain by making the following changes. Players that are being controlled by contain or secondary contain will no longer sprint to catch up to the player they are trying to defend. Players that are being controlled by contain will now take longer to react to the ball carrier's movements. So here's the example. As you can see, the before is at the top, the after is at the bottom. Next one here says reduced the effectiveness of lofted ground passes and lofted through passes by increasing the amount of error present when making these passes. They've also addressed the following issues in gameplay. Players were sometimes being knocked back unrealistically when being hit by the ball. I've seen so many examples of players getting shot across the pitch after they got hit by the ball. So yeah, I think there was a physics issue with that kind of thing, but load-driven shots were being impacted by more error than other types of shots when being taken in easy shooting situations, such as when there is a low defensive pressure or where the player is well balanced and in control of the ball. So here's a look at the example. You can see with the after one that it's a lot narrower, the shot error, so it's more chance of hitting the target compared to the one before. Sometimes the goalkeeper was punching the ball in a situation where they should have easily caught it. Sometimes the goalkeeper would not correctly control the ball at their feet after making a knockdown save. When dropping the ball as the goalkeeper, it was always being dropped in the same direction regardless of where the player was aiming. At kickoff, passing the ball without aiming the pass was resulting in the ball being passed to a spot where it was often intercepted by the opponent. Offside was sometimes not being called correctly in situations where the ball was received by the offside player directly from a deflected shot or poor shot. Offside was sometimes being incorrectly called after an in-game cinematic scene following a stoppage in play. There is some Volta Football gameplay fixes, but does anyone really care about Volta Football fixes? I'm not sure. I really don't. I haven't even touched the mode besides that half an hour that I tried the story mode out and then I got bored and then I haven't touched it since. So we now move on to some Ultimate Team fixes and they've made the following changes. Improved the discoverability of and added new functionality to multi-swap in the squad screen and squad building challenge screen. When on the club tab of the squad screen, players can now turn on multi-swap regardless of how the player entered the tab. When multi-swap is active, players will be able to cycle through the positions in their squad, including the subs and reserves, enabling the ability to swap player items in all positions without leaving the club tab. This is the multi-swap example. I don't really know what's going on here. I barely touch foot, but apparently now you don't have to leave the screen or something to swap out players. And yeah, you guys probably know more than me about this because I rarely use this stuff. When highlighting a specific position in the squad, there is an option to refresh the search results to update based on the currently selected position. They've made adjustments to player item swapping functionality on the club tab. So when changing to the club tab without having specifically selected a position on your squad first, it will no longer assume that you want to swap players for a specific position. When you select a player item on the club tab, it will not automatically send that player to your squad. Instead, you will need to manually change back to the squad tab. So this is the player item swap example. And once again, don't really use this because I don't play foot, but apparently now it doesn't automatically assume that you want to swap out players or something. Backing out of the player search while on the club tab of the squad screen will no longer take players to the squad tab and will instead keep them on the club tab. Updated the 2D portraits for 20-foot player items. Adjusted the color of the dots tracking to the completion of SBC requirements to help make them easier to see. They've also addressed the following issues in foot. Stability issue related to selecting certain reward options in foot rivals. The season objectives widget had overlapping numbers when a player had a high season objective XP total. Manager names were appearing incorrectly on the comparison panel when viewing the transfer market tab from the squad screen. The create new squad option was briefly showing at the top of the list before populating with the available squads when loading the squad selection screen. Visual issue when comparing a goalkeeper to another player on the sub bench while on the squad screen. We've also got some more Volta Football fixes, but I'm not going to go into too much detail. There is a lot of Volta Football fixes there to read out, but as you can see, they've fixed certain things like golden goal rules were not working correctly in futsal matches. They've also fixed up some audio stuff, something with the Volta League as well. If you had your weather option to snow for a match in FIFA Kickoff and then went into Volta Football, it could snow during an indoor match. I would love to see that. If anyone has the clip, please send it to me. I want to see that. I can't even believe that's even possible. Other things like tattoos not displaying correctly when playing matches in different locations. Some other visual stuff as well. And some stability stuff as well. So yeah, I'm not going to go into too much detail. There is a lot there, but I just don't think it's worth the time. Now this is the one everyone wants to see. Career mode fixes. Oh, I can't wait to see what they've done. Address the following issues. A schedule congestion issue impacting Serie B teams. Serie B teams. Out of all the things they're worried about, Serie B. Look, I know I overreacted there. I was not expecting any career mode fixes, but I had to make it a bit enjoyable for you guys. This is not the update that is going to fix career mode. Who knows when that update is coming out, but it's not this one. And at least they fix some schedule congestion issues in Serie B. Now, I would love to know the guy who actually reported this bug or found this bug, because how did they miss all the other bugs in career mode? That's what I want to know. But anyway, we move on to some pro clubs. Address the following issues. Setting your virtual pro as a winger was displaying them as a left or right midfielder in the pro club's hub. Situation where players were able to extend the duration of the post-goal celebration. Stability issue entering Pro Club's hub after losing connection in a Volta League match. The following changes have occurred to skill games. All skill games, including those in Volta, have had their difficulty tuned. They've made minor adjustments to the music in Volta to prevent repetition. They've addressed the following issues to audio as well. Ensured that both English commentary teams were available for use in foot rivals matches. The audio of the ball hitting the net in Volta skills training was not loud enough. Audio in the Champions League trophy presentation scene was sometimes referring to the incorrect year. This happened in FIFA 19 as well, when it was like 2023, but the commentators said they've won the 2019 Champions League. Visual/presentation. They've made the following changes. Updates to the FIFA 20 intro cinematic. Updated the star heads for Eden Hazard and Raheem Sterling. So if you want to see the faces, this is what it looks like. Now finally, they've addressed the following issue. Visual issues impacting some animations when playing mystery ball. Sometimes just before a celebration scene after a goal was scored, some players would warp to different places on the pitch. The shadows and lighting were not correctly updating to align with the time of day setting. Goalkeepers were sometimes getting visually distorted during goal decision system scenes. Visual issue with the lighting around players' eyes and mouths. So that is it for the update. Unfortunately, if you're a crew mode player, it's going to be a long time before you even get a chance to have a proper working game, unless you download the PC Realism mod that's coming out soon. But for everyone else, man, it's going to be a long year. If you need something else to watch, make sure you hit the card in the middle. It'll take you to another FIFA 20 video of mine. I'll see you next time.